And it's recording now. And welcome back to another episode of the Anime Podcast. I'm Kev, and I'm here with my brothers Marcus and Brendan. I apologize. We apologize for being not here for the past couple months. We just been very, very, very busy, but we back again. I promise. Yeah.
Mhm.
So right before we hopped on, we was talking about like how anime movies, a lot of times they don't be canon, and we got like a few theories. But B, what was you saying about that? Why you don't like anime movies like that?
I don't like anime movies. Like, at least back in the day, they made it so that anime movies were like a side story. And then
Mm,
even if you try to piece together this anime movie, like put it somewhere in like the anime series,
mm,
it you realize technically it fits nowhere. Like the things that they introduce in the anime movie makes sense. Like they bring it into the series, as in like I was saying before, for the Dragon Ball series and movies. Literally for Trunks, like when they introduced Tapion and that whatever evil dragon he had or whatever,
mm.
uh Tapion at some point gave his sword to Trunks, and that's why future Trunks has that sword. Or for some reason that's how it was just meant to be.
Mm.
But you know that nowhere in the series is this man ever mentioned, ever, even with future Trunks.
The fact
He
that
had never says anything about Tapion.
the fact that Goten's even in that movie too kind of like throws it off.
See,
So
like it
I,
really. I don't know. I don't like how it does
I
it
feel
like
like
that.
I feel like when it gets to like the Dragon Ball Z movies, like in particular, I feel like they don't really make much sense up until we get to like the super movies. Like Resurrection of Freeze. No, not even like Battle of Gods because
Mm,
that's canon because they included that in Super, and then when it came to Resurrection of Frieza, they included
yeah.
that in Super, and then by the time Super ended, now like the rest of the movies that they show, like that's canon now. I feel like the Z movies they literally don't make like any sort of sense or have no and don't have any sort of connection like with the main story. Like, and if they do, it doesn't make it makes no sense like at all like whatsoever. Like it's weird.
Exactly.
so I'll be honest. I think there is one Z movie that could fit in the timeline, and that's the BoJack movie,
Oh, Bojack. Oh,
because that happens after the Cell Saga. Cause
Okay.
go
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, cause Gohan has Super
I'll
Saiyan
let that
2.
slide.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
I'll let that
Goku's
slide.
nowhere in the movie. He's not in the movie at all. So that's the only one I think can actually realistically fit. Not even realistically, it really can fit perfectly.
Because they don't
Even
show they don't show anything after the Cell Saga all the way up to when Gohan went to was it high school?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a whole gap.
even Broly's second coming. Now I think about it,
it
because
can.
Goku's not in that one.
And the third one actually, Bio Burley, I think it is. Is it the?
Fuck that movie.
Yeah, I know it's a horrible movie. Let me see. All the DBZ Broly movies.
I guess so.
Yeah, it
I
was
don't know.
Dragon Ball Z Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Uh, the second one I think it is Bio Broly, and then Broly Second Coming.
Wait. Bob Broly's number two.
I think.
I thought it was.
Oh no, so it's Dragon Ball Z Broly, and then it's Dragon Ball Z Broly Second Coming. That's when he comes to Earth,
Yeah.
and then it's Bio Broly.
Yeah.
But they both have Goten and Trunks in it, so that can. I don't know. Those ones are weird because Goten and Trunks can this is why it's a little bit weird because Goten in those both those movies Goten can fly and he didn't learn how to fly until like a few days before he met Goku. So unless Broly attacked within that time span,
Yeah, the timing placement with those, like that's where it gets kind of tricky.
yeah. Actually, that still can't fit either because, and I guess because I just happen to know little details like this pretty well, but the way how Vidal's hair is cut in that movie is cut short, and Gohan didn't see. No, he was training her when it was cut short. It wasn't until that he saw it at that point. So maybe they could fit. Maybe it was like the first few days after he learned how to Goten learned how to fly, and then it's like, Bio Broly, and it's like, Daddy. I don't know. But wouldn't Gohan bring up Broly at that point?
Uh,
I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird.
it is.
It'd be hard to kind of place those, like I said, the early Dragon Ball movies with the canon stuff.
Which I do now like the fact that they're now making movies canon. So like
Hmm.
what the My Hero movies, they're canon. Naruto, the last movie is canon.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
well, even the Boruto movie, that's canon.
yeah, that's canon. And even
Well,
a few Dragon
that
Ball
is
Super
canon, but
movies.
they kind of like redid it when they did the series.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Same thing
so,
with the Super movies too.
I know they did added details. They didn't like. They added details that they. I guess it was supposed to retcon a lot of stuff.
Hmm. I think so far
Or
the only anime that their movies are still not canon yet is One Piece, but like they might have some canon events. So like with
right, yeah,
Shiki, film Red, because Yuta's a real character.
she is. I think that's the only one you can consider that is canon somehow. But it's
Yeah.
like again, that's like a side adventure. I
So
think all the movies are technically side adventures because none of them go anywhere in the series.
they're side adventures with canon characters. That's
Yes, like it never makes like that never still makes no sense. Like I can never put them anywhere in anywhere. But you never know like for One Piece, you just don't know where they are,
mm-hmm.
like island wise. They can be
right,
anywhere
yeah.
in the sea, and the next thing you know, like they just left Dressrosa. And then now in the movie they're going against, I don't know, somebody with a new devil fruit you never heard of.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Alright, y'all ready? Ready to
Yeah.
go into the main topics here. So, these two fights have been on my mind for like weeks, and I'm like, this would be a perfect battle for these two. But I'm gonna start off with the first fight here. Actually, give me a number between 1 and 2. Give me a number, and I'll tell you which one we're gonna start with.
You said one or two?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Two?
2. Marcus, what you thinking?
yeah. So we'll go to.
All right, we're gonna go with 2. All right, so 2 is this, right? So we got Team Avatar. Team Avatar will
Oh,
consist of Aang, Katara, Zuko, Toph. And then on the other side, so it's going to be team versus team, but it's going to be individual fights from each person on that team. So Team
mhm.
Avatar, we got Aang, Katara, Zuko, Toph versus Team Xiaolin, where you got Raimundo, Omi, Kimiko, and Clay. And then just to throw it in there, we're going to add 2 more extra fights just to kind of make it more fun. Where on Team Avatar, we're going to add Uncle Iroh, and he's going to go up
Mm.
against Master Fung. And then for a legendary bracket, we're going to have Avatar Roku. Matter of fact, no. Avatar Wong, the very first Avatar,
Yeah.
versus Master Daishi.
Oh shit.
And so since that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights, right? I have a dice rolled up over here. Grab this. and this is how the fights are going to break down. And then there are rules in this fight because I got to make it fair as possible for everybody. So, prime example is Aang cannot use the Avatar state. So
Mm.
because it's basically who is the best at that element, fighting wise. So it's gonna be like Aang versus Raymundo because they're both wind. And then you got Zuko versus Kimiko because they're both fire. You got Toph versus Clay because they're both earth. I And Katara versus Omi because they're both water. And then Iroh versus Master Fong because they're legendary, like they're masters of their craft. And then you got Avatar Wong versus Master Daishi because they're legends in their own right. And so I'm gonna break it down into, one would be Aang versus Raymundo for wind. And then you also got 2, which would be Katara versus Omi. We got 3, which is Zuko versus Kimiko, and 4, that is going to be Toph versus Clay. 5 is Uncle Iroh versus Master Fong, and number 6, number 6 would be Avatar Wong versus Master Daishi. So I'm gonna roll the dice, and then whatever number it lands on, that's the fight we're gonna have to talk about and see who's gonna take home the cake. So y'all ready on this? Alright.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. So first one here is, and stop. Number 4. So we got Toph versus Clay. So who y'all got? Now that I was thinking on this, right? I feel like Toph is gonna take this one.
That's obvious. Toph's gonna take this
Yeah,
one.
that's that. I'm not gonna hold. That's kind of like that's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's an easy one. And I just feel like Toph, like it makes you think. It makes you think like this. Like imagine Toph actually was able to like see, like her IQ is already like dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You see like multiple times and everything throughout the show how she's able to like plan things out
Mm-hmm.
during like she's always like one step. She'll always be one step ahead of you, like no matter what. We see that time and time again in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see like anybody just matching her battle IQ, her battle instinct and stuff like that. Just her be able to kind of like just plan things out just as the battle goes on. Like you, even though you feel like you may feel like you have like the upper hand on her. She's like, all right, she's like, nah, bro. Like I'm already on to the next thing. She just thinks really fast like that. Like she really thinks on her feet. She's the definition
Mm-hmm.
of thinking on her feet. Like she just, I just don't, I just, I, that's just an I personally me. That's an obvious. So I see Toph coming off with the victory on that one.
So
That's just that.
I will say I agree with Toph winning the fight, but I do think Clay is. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Toph. Reason why is because with the Xiaolin team, they can turn into that element or
Yeah.
use it to its full extent. And Clay is pretty decent at thinking on his feet too. Because remember the training episode
Yeah.
where they had to go through the obstacle course to get the stuffed animal. Clay was the
Well,
only
yeah.
one with the fastest time, and because he thought outside the box compared to everybody else. So he's pretty decent at thinking on his feet too. But the reason I'll still kind of give it to Toph is that seismic sense. I don't think Clay has seismic sense. I feel
Nah.
like
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
don't.
like
Nah.
like Clay. I mean not Clay. Toph is going to know every move that like Clay will do, even
You're
before
right.
Clay will actually do it, and she's
That's
gonna
what I'm
react
saying.
to it. So that's gonna be
Right.
a very difficult fight there
That
for
thing, like
Clay.
she'll always be one step. She'll always be one step ahead, and that's what's
Yep.
going to come down to who's going to be able to be, you know, who's going to be ahead of each other first. That's what's going
Hmm.
to come down to in the fight.
So and for the audience too that's watching this, the rules are is that on Team Avatar, Aang does not have uh he doesn't have the Avatar state. Same with Omi, because remember Omi was able to access all four elements, so he can't do that. And the Xiaolin team does not have access to the Shengon Wu, so it's just gonna be straight hands. So I think we're all in agreement here. Toph is gonna take the Earth battle here,
Yeah.
and the winner is Toph. So next one here, let's roll the dice. Let's roll the dice here.
Another thing too,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Clay, if Clay was able to like close the gap, was able to kind of like close the gap and try to keep pressure
Mm-hmm.
and somehow try to find a way, without moving without Toph noticing, because Clay wouldn't be able to move without Toph noticing like
Mm-hmm.
that, because like that's the only way. So Clay would try to have to figure out how to find a way to kind of close the gap between the two, so he can kind of even like
Yeah.
even get remotely even closer also, because like Toph's not going to allow Clay to even get like close to her without even her noticing like any sort of like any
Mm-hmm.
movement,
Like.
so that's what it's going to be tight in that regard too, because like if one movement, I mean, Toph was like, oh, there you are, boom, like it's just quick, it's that twitch, it's gonna be like it's gonna be like
Mm.
instant, it's quick,
Like the only way I
you
can
know.
see Clay actually winning is if he actually has access to the Shengon Wu,
Yeah,
because then
yeah,
that will put him on par with Toph, because Toph's seismic sense is a Shengon Wu ability.
yes.
So no matter what little movement Clay does, even if he breathes, Toph is going to
Mm-hmm.
sense it, and she's going to
That's the
react.
scary shit.
Yeah,
That's the
and it's like
scary shit.
Toph, and it's like Clay can't turn the ground to sand, because now she knows how to master sand.
Mm-hmm.
And then Clay don't even have like we haven't seen him bend metal yet, or like control some type of metal substance.
Right, and that's even
He can't do that. The best he
Yeah,
can do is move the whole metal thing itself,
yeah.
as in like with just pure strength. I think his idea of Earth is more just I might be able to like make a boulder come out the ground and I
Mm.
can chuck it at you.
Very
That's pretty
basic
much it.
earthbender.
Yes.
He's a very basic earthbender.
right. And you see, like and remember, like in the episode when Toph like did the sand sculpture of the boss of Ba Sing Se,
Mm.
like that was just like just
That w-
them. Go ahead, my fault, yeah.
no, go ahead. I was gonna say that I'm agreeing with you. That's like basically her mastering sand.
Right, that's I mean she remember how she kind of like struggled with that, and like that's the thing though, it's like anything that she like I remember when they had a hard time, when it was in that tower with the owl and shit like that, and then all
Mm.
them freaking splinters came off, and she had to hold off. She was determined, like she was like locked in to like kind of all right, I gotta learn this shit. Like this, she was just like determined, like fully on determined. And shit, once she got that shit, bro, it's like it
Mm.
just made her even more. It made her even more of a beast. Like and that was like you said, like that was just her way of like yeah, I got mastered this shit. Like, and like I got this shit down. And on top of that, and I mastered metal on top of that, bro. Like, ain't
Mm.
nobody fucking with me. Ain't nobody fucking with me.
Easy. I agree. So Toph takes the win in that fight. So let's see here. Roll of the dice. Next one here is because we did 4. 2. Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. That's actually a good one. 2 is Qatar versus Omi.
Mm.
Now I'll be honest. I think Xiaolin is gonna take the win on this one because of how fast. Because Omi's fast as shit, especially when it comes to water.
Mm.
And it's like no matter, it is like his mastery over water. They even tried to flood the place, and he cleaned that up by himself.
Mm. Ah.
So I might have to
No.
give it to Omi on that one. Like, cause will Katara use bloodbending? I don't. She only used it twice, but then we haven't
She's gonna
seen
have.
any.
She's gonna have to. Because I think she got that. She mastered that bloodbending.
Well, hold
because
on. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I had to ask a question to clarify something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so other than bloodbending, Katara also, she controls the temperature of the water itself, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Can Omi do that?
I believe
Can
he
he like
can.
freeze the water?
I believe yeah, he can. Yeah, he can because remember when he had the orbital tsunami? That's how he when he was in the past and he came back to the present. He was like orbital tsunami ice, and that froze him.
Oh,
So he does have temperature control too.
okay.
And he does control steam. So that's the tough part there because Omi is just quick. I think he's quicker than Katara at this point.
Yeah, it's gonna come back. Yeah, Guitar. What had to? Cause the only way I see Guitar possibly winning that is with Bloodbender.
I think Omi would get away with that because
Think
anytime
so?
his little dots glow, that's him locking in. And I think and he's quick to learn too. And then I think once he learns, like anytime he does the little dot thing, that's him taking
Yeah.
full control of his chi.
I can see. Okay, I can understand why he will have the upper hand. I think, but my only thing is, uh, okay. My last thing is, as a waterbender, they have full control over, like, full blown control over the water.
Mm-hmm.
Does Omi only have certain attacks? Like, hey, I'm gonna send a tidal wave. I'm gonna send, like, I'm trying to figure that part out.
From what I can remember, I think he can do. He can summon water out of nowhere. He
Okay,
can use water as projectiles. He can freeze the water. He can turn it to steam. He can use it to launch himself faster. Cause Katara can like ride a wave.
right.
So, but he can like legit just like use himself. Like take a, what's that one Pokemon that looks like a Jetsu or something like that?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, he
You
can
want
do something on the level of that
right?
where he can
You know
use,
something?
he can launch himself as a missile. Go ahead.
You want to know something? You know what? Katara has a skill set. She doesn't have a skill set for a one-on-one battle because every one-on-one battle she had, she got her ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of just hit me. Like every one-on-one battle she had, except for Wednesday when I won't even say I had a fight because when she did the bloodbending on that fire soldier
Mm-hmm.
when when they did that wasn't even much of a fight for her, but like every fight she had like that she didn't really like she now in an army now Katara could use that attack for like I guess like an army like her move set is like based for more so like an army because like use name and like all that I forgot only like
Mm.
that OP as fuck
Yeah.
like very OP.
Also,
Katara, like her moves. Yeah, my bad.
no, you finish. You finish.
Katara, her move set is just like it's not. I don't think it's built for like a one-on-one setting.
Mm.
I don't. I don't. I
Yeah,
mean, like she's strong and like she's powerful and like that. But I just don't think like it would. I just don't see it matching up. Now I'm kind of like thinking about it, like a little bit more and more. Like she really kind of got her ass whooped. Like no matter what fight that she was in, she didn't
Mm-hmm.
really win like any one-on-one fight. She kind of lost all of them.
Yeah. Because I was
yeah,
also
you're
gonna
kind of
say,
right.
also with Omi too. I just saw this. Remember when he turned evil?
Yeah.
He basically
Oh
used the
shit!
water
Yeah.
and conjured like weapons, larger fist.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so essentially he that nigga turned into to
Hold
Aang
up.
when he yeah. And I wouldn't
Nah.
be surprised if he still knows how to do that. I
Let me
just
see.
remember that. Like I was just looking this up. So like he turned evil, he made water conjurings.
I forgot about that shit. Yeah, you're right.
Evil Omi.
Yeah, here it is. Like he made two water fists, and he was just smacking niggas around with that.
Start getting her ass whooped. I'm sorry.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I might have to give it to Omi for the water battle here. Cause that's
I
a
tried to think of something. I tried to think of something what Qatar could do to kind of like, at least make it a fight. But
cause I really
nah,
like the only one I could see Katara winning is with bloodbending, but I feel like Omi can get out of that.
Yeah, because he would have to stand still.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
You know what? I'm looking at Evil Omi, like his creepy ass like grin, his smile is scary as hell.
Right.
Oh, I see what he did. Yo, that's kind of terrible. You know what? If you saw this in real life, this would be terrifying.
Exactly.
He's riding a tornado with what are those ice claws?
Yup. With the water fist too.
Is he doing this
Also,
with the orb?
no, that's just straight him.
Okay, might have to give it to him because that's the equivalent of the Avatar state.
Exactly. So, and my other thing too is Omi's more seasoned in fighting than Katara.
Uh huh.
Because all of Avatar: The Last Airbender was like a year. Now, when we take the
yeah,
books into consideration, sure, but but we're taking like from what we've seen so far in the shows. Omi's a seasoned fighter because he's been training since he was a baby, and he
yeah,
always
he's been.
knew he was going to be the dragon of the water.
And like Qatar didn't really get nice like that until like what,
Book
like
three,
damn near almost time skip, like
yeah.
damn near the time skip. Yeah,
So I'm gonna have to give it to Omi for that one. There, Omi is like on a whole different level.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to agree with you on that one.
All right, so we're gonna
Omi is
say
yeah.
Omi
Omi's terrifying.
for this battle. All right, so let's roll here. So we gotta do 1, 3, 5, 6. Oh snap! We going with number 6. Now we got Avatar Wong, the very first Avatar, versus Master Daishi, the guy who created the Shengon Wu.
I know nothing about this man.
Well, Master Daishi.
Yes, as in like any abilities or anything.
So all I can say is, from what I can remember, picture all the Shengon Wu he can do without doing the without needing the Shengon Wu. Because remember,
Uh,
it's created from his will.
okay.
So I think he
If
can. I believe he can do it without actually having the actual items in his hand.
okay.
And then you got Avatar Wong, the first Avatar. So he has all access to all 4 elements. Now I feel like he is a pretty different Avatar because he actually learned from the actual original benders themselves.
Yeah, I think
oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
he
right.
learned from
Yeah.
the
Yep.
turtles.
So he didn't learn from he learned from the original masters.
The original. That's right.
So
Yeah,
that
like how Aang and Zuko learned.
yep. So
Uh,
that's gonna be that's why I'm like that's a it has to be because originally I was going to choose
Hey,
Avatar Roku, but I'm like he gonna get slaughtered. I'm sorry.
for Roku.
Yeah, against Master Daishi. So I'm like, nah, we gotta do Avatar Wong because he was trained by the OGs. So he's gonna have some stuff that a lot of avatars ain't gonna know. Maybe the second avatar and maybe the third, but all the other ones ain't gonna know this shit. And maybe Aang
Nah,
because he learned spirit bending from the original.
that's true.
Reddit has already had this debate.
Our debate.
Yeah, this particular fight, Reddit has had this debate 3 years ago.
So between Avatar Wong and Master Daishi.
Yeah, this one comment. Hold on, I'm gonna read this paragraph. Just stick with me for a second.
All right.
Realistically speaking, can't Daishi just make a puzzle box out of literally anything and seal the avatar state in a box for good? It'd be unsportsmanlike, but not entirely out of character or out of the question with someone like Daishi, if he is, even if he's always has the virtue, well, even if he always has virtually every Shingon Wu under his belt for free use, like Fist of Heavy Gong or any of the elements Juan has, but with experience and danger like the Orb of Tsunami. the Blade of Wind or Fist of the Iron Bear. What the yo? All deal Wan's elemental advantages back and then some. Daishi is also a master of martial arts and a powerhouse, even without Shingon Wu to aid him. Seeing as how he's uh, effortlessly struck the air so hard it broke giant rock golems. So, yeah, they're saying that Daishi's gonna win.
Yeah,
So they're saying this motherfucker's pretty much Century.
yeah, I can see it.
This motherfucker's pretty much Century.
Because he definitely did just summon a puzzle box out of nowhere to give to Omi. And then he could seal Rava inside of it, so essentially breaking the avatar connection. So yeah, Daishi's too overpowered. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Daishi on that part. That's dangerous. He's too dangerous on that one. He's too dangerous on that. We're giving it to Daishi on that one.
Yeah.
Damn.
Here we go. All right, so now we got 1, 3, and 5. So who we got here? So roll. So we got 3. So we got Zuko versus Kimiko. Now listen. Zuko, my guy.
Yeah.
But what fire attacks can actually hurt Kimiko?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Zuko getting his ass whooped. I'm sorry. That's a slaughterhouse right there.
How burn it? You ate.
I'm sorry.
He would put up a good, decent fight.
He would.
No.
If he was up against if he was up against any other firebender, I would say Zuko might win.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not firebending. Like, this is more. This is like fighting. I don't know.
This is
like
fighting Zuko fighting for. Exactly.
And we all know Zuko couldn't fight the dragon, so.
Boys.
Zuko's taking that L crazy.
Yeah,
I think he takes the hardest L in this whole fight.
Sorry.
After this whole fight, Zuko's taking his biggest L.
Bro, Zuko got his ass put by his own sister. I'm sorry.
I mean, Azula's probably a better fight against Kimiko than Zuko.
Because
Zuko needed Katara to help.
Zuko got. That's what I was gonna say during the Katara one. I was like, Katara needed Zuko's help during a fight against Azula.
Right, he still got his ass whooped.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to give it to the fact that's gotta be the quickest fight, because Kimiko have shown to take on the element of fire, so she's not going to get burned by it. They all actively fought in volcanoes. Zuko took one fireball to the face and scarred for the rest of his life.
It was the same sense, bro.
Nah, I'm gonna have to give it to Kimiko. And on top of that, Kimiko bends the fire like it's water.
No, that's true.
That's true.
So Zuko's gonna throw a fire blast, and she like, "Hey, I learned this from your best friend Katara." Psych. And then she gonna go back and play some video games. So like Zuko, like honestly, I would say Kimiko is essentially the speed of Ty Lee with the fire accuracy of Azula with the fire potency and durability of a dragon.
Yeah. That's a good breakdown.
So I think Kimiko's definitely taking that W there. There's not much Zuko can do. Yeah, like Kimiko ain't gonna redirect lightning, so he can't do shit with that.
Pretty much.
So yeah, like the only way he'll be able to put up a fight is if it's in during Sozin's Comet. But even with that, I would probably say that would probably also amp Kimiko too.
Oh yeah, some ways, yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, that's only if that concept still works for her.
True.
I don't think it works that way. I think she can just, create fire out of nowhere. It doesn't really matter. It's like
True.
willpower.
That's true. That is facts. Dang, sorry, Zuko. You you lost too many fights.
Damn.
Zuko couldn't even put up. Get your sister in here, damn.
Damn. So the only person who won a fight is Toph, man.
So
Shit.
far, yeah, Toph is the only one that won their fight. Just because she's too overly busted.
Bro, she just her IQ was just better than all of them, bro. Like all of them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because she was the only one that's actually trained by masters. But we
Like if
also haven't
Annie was the
seen.
main character, bro, like
It'll be tough.
it'd be tough, bro. Like no, her IQ is better than all of them. Like every single all of them.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they gonna be able to do with this. Team Xiaolin's too busted.
Nah, for real.
All right, let's see here. Rolling. So we already did 3, so we'll have 1 and 5. So what y'all want to do, 1 or 5?
I don't remember which one it is, so it doesn't matter.
So 1 is Aang versus Raymundo, and 5 is Iroh versus Master Fong.
Save the masters for last.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do.
I feel like
Aang.
I feel like we're going to figure out Aang and Raimundo pretty fast.
So I'll be honest with you on this one. Aang is my guy, but I'm gonna have to probably give it to Raymundo because Raymundo could actually fly. Aang can't.
Whoa, hold on. Ah, shit, you said no Avatar state.
Nope, no Avatar state. Because then that would give him access to all. Like even though he can access all 4 elements, that's too busted for him. Because if I give him the Avatar state, then I would have to give. I would have to give Omi the ability to access all 4 elements and his evil form. And then I will also have to give Raymundo the leadership promotion.
That's too much. That's like literally giving everybody their top potential.
Yeah.
That's literally a death battle. I don't think we're trying to figure out a full blown death battle right now.
Nah, that's too much break. I just want to focus on who will probably, and if it's just their element and just a fight, who will take it. And the reason I give it to Raymundo is not only he can fly, but like, bro, that ass can like summon a gust of wind with ease. Like
And the thing is, right?
It's like he literally just did, and a whole gust of wind just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't
And like,
go ahead.
You know what? I can understand that. I was thinking Aang would have overall advantage because even if he can't summon a gust of wind like that fast, I think it goes back to like how Katara and Omi was. I think Aang has more agility on his side than anything. Like he's faster than anybody. Like,
yeah. That like I don't think I think this will still be a difficult battle for the two. Because even with Aang too, because someone made a theory of like Aang can sense wind, and that's why they're bald. Because if you go back into Avatar Legend of Korra, Tenzin was given a lesson on why they shaved their heads, and he said it's so you can sense when the wind is available for you, or it's near, or like when it's coming.
Yeah, you have it connected to the wind, so you can feel. So you just basically feel it on your head.
Exactly. So this is a difficult one there.
and the thing is though too, Aang is good at there's 2 things. Like Aang is good at also same thing with how with Toph is. Aang is also good at like detecting like movements and stuff like that. It'll be hard. It'll be hard for him because like he'll be able it'll be hard for him to even get touched because Aang is also like he's quick. He's quick on his feet. He's really quick on his feet. The thing is though, what's gonna come down to, Aang is gonna have to like get after because Aang goes in defense like first before he goes into offense. Aang always goes this defense. Like I don't see Aang getting touched. It's about all right. How can he land a blow himself? Because On the defensive end, I don't like I said, I don't see Aang getting touched because like he has like the best he has like the best defense. He's gonna have to get after it, like just go after it. Because Aang, like I say, he's a defensive like fighter first before offense. So it's all gonna come down like all right, how quickly is he gonna get into like in battle mode before like, his opponent gets like already gets like in motion and all that stuff. Like that's what's gonna come down to.
But the
That's
difference,
what's gonna,
Raymundo could also ride wind too.
I don't see that affecting man.
I don't think it really does because even if Raymundo rides wind, let's say he rides the wind, goes like flies up real quick. All I see is that Aang sees that as an opportunity to like ride on his little air ball and just go
His
somewhere.
his IQ. Remember, yo, perfect.
He is
example.
very creative with his air
He is
abilities.
perfect example. Remember that fight? It was in who was that, bro? Who was he fighting? I forgot his name. Who he made him look like a complete idiot. It was in the beginning of the Avatar. It was like in the very very beginning, and he was just taunting him the whole entire fight. Like he will make you look stupid.
Was it when he was like dodging him in the well? I think that was I think that was Zuko.
Was it?
But the blue dragon or the blue whatever, yeah.
No, cause Zuko chased him to somewhere, and like he thought he cornered Aang, and Aang was just like woo 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 woo. He's like, oh, can't touch me.
It wasn't that. It was somebody.
Was prison.
Which one was it?
No, it wasn't. No, it was. This was something else. There was like on a lake or something like that. It was like a war or something like that. It was like they were on a lake. They were on a lake. I can't remember what. It wasn't the swap episode. It was like in the very, very beginning of Avatar. It was. General. What was his name?
Wait, was this in the Was it in the South Pole?
Nah, it wasn't.
Like when he the very first episode or so, like when he was escaping the ship.
Was it that? Was it
Oh,
that?
you're talking about General
Fong.
He was fighting the Airbender dude.
General Fong?
Not General Fong. No,
it was General something or Admiral something.
It was a dude who was commanding Zuko around, wasn't it?
I think so. But the thing
Admiral Zhao.
Yeah.
Yes.
Admiral Zhao.
Yeah. He made him look like a complete idiot. He made him look like a fool. He made him look stupid that whole he didn't even land a punch on Aang. And he made him look dumb. Like I said, when Aang gets into that groove and stuff like that, and like Brendan said, like Aang can get really, really creative with anything. He'll use like an attack and he'll use that as an advantage. I don't see him like struggling really like all that. I don't really see him struggling. So like even like with him riding wind and stuff like that, Aang will use that. Like, all right, I can figure out something with that. All right, cool. This is fun. All right, I can do something with that. I can attack him like that. It's just I just see like any attack that's being thrown at Aang, he'll use it to his advantage or he'll use it in a creative fashion.
True. Because now that
he's gonna have to create.
Y'all convinced me then. Because I was still saying Raymundo, but now I'm like, with all the convincing, even if Raymundo flies up, Aang will still be able to catch him, regardless. Because Aang got hops too.
Yeah. Raymundo would have to be on his leadership status to match what Aang can do. Because Aang doing all those like tricks and dodging and like bob and weaving, like that's all from experience of just what his mentors have taught him at the air temples.
Yep.
They taught him always be on the defensive because they're pacifists. They don't fight first.
Exactly. Their defense. They go to defense first. That's them.
Yes. So literally, Raymundo. I feel like Raymundo is always on the offensive. That's not like an airbender style. So literally, it's going to take a long time for Raymundo to even touch Aang.
True.
And
don't forget, Aang's a master of wind too. He got master status at a young age.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, it's definitely gonna be Aang because how many? Because Aang didn't take that many L's in the series as a whole,
No, he
and he
got
only
shot
took.
by lightning.
But that was not because he got blinded by that one.
That's true.
No, they all no. It was they. You saw about that fight in Boxing say,
Yeah, yeah, he got
bro.
cheap shotted.
They strolled on him. They all strolled on. He was fighting two niggas, bro. He was fighting not only Azula, but he was fighting Zuko too.
Yeah,
They,
and
they
all the else he had either from protecting somebody or he got sneaked.
yeah, he got strolled on, bro. They all jumped. They jumped because like, no, we can't fight this one on one, bro. This,
Uh-huh.
Shut up, big, because I know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I thought I had nothing but ice in here. It's actually full on water.
wait, what?
He spilled on himself.
Yeah, because I thought I had ice in here, and I thought it was just only ice. So I naturally just like chugged it. Nah, it's water.
Oh, shit.
Dang, it got me too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alright, so we moving on to the Masters now.
All right.
So, we got Uncle Iroh versus Master Fong. I'll be honest, this is going to be a tie. Because all they're going to do is get some tea together and just spit quotes to one another. That's all they're going to do. All they're going to do is let their young ones duke it out.
Literally, like whoever tunes is the best.
Because I'll be honest, I could see it going both ways for both of them. Because with Master Feng, he's a master of all four of the elements. I would say he's probably just legit, just like maybe a tier or two lower than Master what's his name, Master Daishi.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he knows, because even with like the team, with Team Xiaolin getting as powerful as they are, he was still kind of like showing them up a little bit.
That's true.
Like even with the episode where he was like, "All right, try and take this doll from me, and I'm gonna be blindfolded, and I'm not even gonna be attacking." Bro's just like, boop, 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 boop. He's like, "Okay." He's like, "Make sure I clean the grand hall with your toothbrushes since I can't do nothing."
Yeah. He pretty much showed him that why he's the master.
Right. Actually, hold on. I got another fight between two other people from each of the series. This is gonna be the bonus round after this one. But yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Iroh or Master Fong?
That low key might. I don't know, man. That low key might be a tie. Like all jokes to the side.
Because even Zuko said like, "Well, we need you for the war because you're the one who could stop my like." Besides Aang, like they say, if we can't fight Aang, you're the only one who could stop my dad. They was also trying to, yeah. Oh, Iroh's that dude.
What?
He's that
what?
dude. Like even when he was like fat and retired,
bro,
he was still showing people up.
Right. Like he was mixing everybody's shit, bro. Like Uncle Iroh was mixing everybody's shit, bro.
And I just now realized this too. Not only Master Feng is the master of all four, so is technically Iroh because he indoctrinated each one of the elements into his firebending forms.
That's right.
Because Leader Lightning came from studying water bending. His pacifist ways came from studying the air nomads. And the right time to show aggression came from learning the earthbenders and how to stand his ground. So that's a tough one there. Bro, I'll be honest, I think Iroh can beat Toph. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Nah,
No.
I believe Iroh could beat Toph.
Yeah.
Only if. Only if Iroh has his own way of sensing when Toph is about to do anything with the ground underneath his feet.
I think he would.
does he have a way to really sense if like Earth is really about to just like grab his souls?
I would think so
Like,
because
you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm talking about. You know the technique. They just grab the anchor.
here's why I know this. Well, here's why I believe he can or has a way. Because he probably trained with Boomy at some point. And Toph and Boomy are on the same level.
Okay. But Boomy makes that seem so seamless too.
Exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised if he showed Iroh, this is what you need to do to avoid the best of the best.
And here's the thing, though. We don't know how strong Boomy is because obviously he did not go all out when he was going up against Aang.
Mm-mm. And even in the
We
comic,
really-
The only time you saw it was when they took back Ba Sing Se.
and he took that shit back
Right.
by himself.
Nah, like Boomy is like Boomy really is that boy. Boomy is really like we just haven't really seen him in action like that. But like that motherfucker, that's an overpowered ass old man.
And like the only reason we didn't get a legit ending between Boomy and Toph's fight in the comic books was because they was going if they continue, they're wrecking the whole city.
Nah, exactly.
So we don't even know who really won between that.
Right. So it's like, Boomy, like, he's a different breed.
So that's why I'm like, that's why I could believe Iroh probably learned a lot from Boomy on what he can do.
Okay.
So,
all right.
This is a tough one there. Because they both got counters for each other.
Exactly. It could go either way, honestly.
Because everything Team Xiaolin knows is through Master Fong. And Iroh has been around the block. So he's a seasoned vet. So that's a tough one there.
Yeah.
I think this will be the first draw. I think that's a draw there.
Yeah, it might have to be a draw.
They literally just gonna get some tea and call it a day.
He said, I'm tired, but let's go get some tea, man. Come on, man.
They're gonna spit some bars to one another.
Nah, that like you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like, this is a waste of time, man. Come on.
Alright, so when it comes to this particular fight here, like this whole battle, we got number one with Aang versus Raymundo, with Aang taking the victory. Not by a landslide, but it's still gonna be a tough battle for him. Then we got Qatar versus Omi, and Omi's taking a W. And I guess you could say that's a mid-diff fight between those two. So Aang and Raymundo's high diff. Qatar and Omi is mid-diff. Then we got Zuko versus Kimiko. That's a low diff fight. Zuko get his ass kicked. Kimiko definitely taking a W with that one. And same thing with Toph versus Clay. Toph is taking that one. And then we also have Uncle Iroh versus Master Feng with a draw. And then we got Avatar Wong versus Master Daishi with Daishi taking it. But it seems like, let's see, 1, 2, 2, draw. With literally Team Xiaolin coming out with 3 out of the 6 battles. Yeah, so it's, let's see here. Aang. Oh no, Team Xiaolin. So 1, 2, 4. Yeah, because I'm counting a draw as a win on each side. So it's 4, and then with Team Avatar, they only got 1, 2, 3 if you can count the draw. So yeah, Team Xiaolin won out of all of those fights there. But here's the bonus round. Y'all ready? And then they both get prep time for this. Sokka versus Jack Spicer. They both
Does
get prep.
Sokka have the sword?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I might have to give this to Jack Spicer just because of the stupid gadgets and things he can get.
With his new trademark evil laugh.
Like Sokka he's actually a swordsman. Like, I'll give it to him. He's a fighter, and with the boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
I give it to him. He's straight
Uh-huh.
A1.
Oh yeah.
He's also tactical too. He's the one who took out Sparky Boom Man.
Fuck you.
Exactly. But I'm just going to have to give the Jack Spicer because this man has unbelievable dumb luck.
True. So
I don't know. I literally can't think of what plan he might have.
So I could orthodox. How you say the word? Uh, unorthodox.
Yeah.
Sokka's like he's very unorthodox. So it's like he's like an awkward ass fighter. Remember when he went toe to toe against the nigga that gave him the sword?
Yeah.
It's like he's unorthodox, but he's like he a shifty motherfucker. Remember he put that sand in that boy eyes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, if Sokka did some slimy shit like that, bro, shit, he might fuck around and win.
I mean, yeah, because Sokka, he can move too.
He can't move.
He can move, so I think that's what Sokka can probably figure out his way around the robots. And Sokka not dumb too. Like he's good with tech. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he's able to sneak up behind a robot and just like, okay, what if I just break these wires?
Bro, like don't sleep on him now. Like I remember the boomerang, bro. He's A1 with the boomerang.
Like Hawkeye
wished he had aim like Sokka.
Honestly, exactly. He was like when he tracked that little smoke pattern, he was like, all right, got it. Sparky Boom Man's like, shit. he got him with a boomerang. And on top of that, someone said on the line of Sokka is Aang without the abilities. So he mastered waterbending fighting style. He mastered firebending fighting style with the sword. He mastered earthbending fighting style when he was training with Suki. And then air is just, I guess you could say the balloon stuff. Like, understand how air works.
I guess so.
So, I don't know. Why Sokka gonna fuck around and mess? Honestly, I think Jack Spicer might mess himself up, and then Sokka just like, oh, this is my opportunity.
This my moment.
I don't know. Sokka might actually take the win on that one. Who knows?
I don't sleep on Sokka, boy. I'm telling you.
You might be able to give it to Sokka.
Yeah.
I just don't know what Jack Spicer has in plan. That's the only thing that throws me off.
Right.
He gonna overthink and do some dumb shit. That's what he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Listen. Might have to. I think that's another draw there because I could also see Jack Spicer just all of a sudden out of nowhere. Because look, even though I said this is how Jack Spicer works, and I feel like it's gonna work. Even though I said there's no Shingon Wu, Jack Spicer gonna break the rules and bring Shingon Wu.
He will.
And then watch, it's literally gonna come down to hand-to-hand combat between Sokka's swordplay and Jack Spicer with the monkey staff. That's exactly what it's gonna come down to. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna allow it. I'm gonna break the rules for Jack Spicer. He's the only one who's gonna break the rules.
You don't give a fuck, bro.
You know what? If it comes down to that, I still might give it to Sokka because I literally don't see Jack Spicer being that good at fighting. Like I feel like it'll be like a good few hit blows back and forth, and then next the staff out his hand. Then Sokka says, "Okay, free hit."
True.
Why? Because here's what's gonna happen. Sokka finna throw that boomerang up into the freaking heavens and shit like that. Sokka gonna charge that boy, hit him with the combo special, and then when he not paying attention, gonna hit him upside the back of his head. Like, God damn, where the fuck that shit come from?
Facts.
Yeah, yeah.
Because think about it, this is what happened. He finna throw the boomerang at him. Boy gonna be like, yo, what? That good shit, Sokka. And then Sokka gonna charge at him, distract him, and then before you know it, Sokka gonna hit him with a barrel roll and shit. And then like, what the fuck you a barrel roll for? It gonna hit him right upside his head. Sokka gonna hit him with the 360.
Yeah, nah, Sokka's taking a win. Sorry, Jack Spicer. Jack Spicer gonna bring all the hell of these robots just for him to still lose.
That's how Sokka fights, bro. He'll throw the boomerang like he'll just throw it, and he'll come back and throw it. Boy, that's how good his aim is, bro. He knows how to detect that shit, bro.
And he fights using his surroundings too, so
That's what I'm
he's gonna
saying.
know what to do. Sokka's
Cat,
like John Wick. Get this nigga a pencil, you gonna win. Sokka's lead John
Oh,
Wick.
we over here laughing. That's oh.
All right, y'all. That's the episode. So, what y'all think between Team Xiaolin and Team Avatar? Who's going to take it? And again, the the rounds are Aang versus Raymundo, Katara versus Omi, Zuko versus Kimiko, Toph versus Clay, Iroh versus Master Fong, Avatar Wong versus Master Daishi, and the bonus round is Sokka versus Jack Spicer. Let's hear what you guys got to say down below. Make sure you guys hit the follow button. Follow us on all our socials. And make sure y'all stay safe, stay cool, stay chilly. Peace.